Radiant team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Radiant team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick. Dire team pick.
League's assassin.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Real elegant, real smooth. I feel welcomed.
Team pick.
You gonna fix your open mic too? Yeah. Yeah.
Alright. My boss is watching this. Boss is not impressed. Why is my Nyx assassin not moving? Is that Dota bug or is that me bug? Ooh.
It's you bug, but Nyx Assassin's also a Dota bug, so maybe it could be both.
Double bug. I could barely hear you. What's happening? So much.
Oh, we did that audio test.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Wait, you seemed intrigued by Elder.
Dire team ban.
Medusa.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds. Radiant team ban.
Well, they were in this event. They got sent to the lower brackets straight round 1 and then got eliminated at lower bracket round 1. So, you know, that's where
Who was also back in the day competing with them. Like 8 months ago it was like TNC, Execration, and Clutch Gamers. And that was like the rock, paper, scissors a few months ago, and now Mineski is coming into form. Oh yeah, and Faceless, that's true. But Faceless was getting invited to stuff every once in a while, unlike Mineski apparently.
Well, Mineski, I think the past 3 or 4 weeks has been looking really shaky. They've been dropping a lot of like finals qualifiers to the other teams. CNC beat them in a, I think, best of 3. Fnatic beat them in a best of 5, and then they didn't even make it to the finals in the Dream League. Sure, so that's looking pretty. And then they just went to Perfect World and they got dumpstered there pretty hard too. So Mineski is just kind of trying to find their own groove. Now, I don't think they'll be Fnatic later on today, but they should definitely be Geek Fam, right? Just yeah. I mean, based on the results in the past 2 weeks, maybe we're getting too ahead of ourselves, but Mineski is looking a little shaky past 2-3 weeks.
Okay, that's fair. I can see that.
And this is purely going by results. But we got the Elder Titan, which normally is a 4, but this is Ice, and he generally makes hero work. So gonna hold my breath for that.
Ten seconds remaining.
Is that how they rank it now? Yeah, sure.
5 seconds remaining. Radiant team pick.
Slada.
And this is looking like a Corey. Like, I imagine we're gonna SD as the support.
That would be my guess. Roaming Slardar is much stronger than offlane Slardar.
Well, I like the SD a lot because it sets up for both Slardar and ET, and should make things.
5 seconds remaining.
And
I like SD just in general. I think I think Capitalist was mentioning during the end of Perfect World Masters that Shadow Demon's definitely going to be like on the rise in the coming months in this patch.
He's been mentioning it for weeks, you know. It's one of those things that where you keep saying it, and then one day it comes true and be like, I
knew it.
He said it. Yeah, he's been saying it since Dream League, which is like 3 weeks ago. Who knows?
Who knows?
All right, so
Tiny though, people were skeptical about him. No, I'm sorry. Go on.
I was gonna say that ET's actually really good against pretty much any agility hero, including because most of her armor is from like base agility. So Elder Titan Aura removes it down to 0.
That's why Tiny's the perfect pick. You don't have any armor to remove.
Sure. But what if he gets Silver Edge? Then boom.
No, because Tiny he builds all of his armor from items these days.
No, he gets armor from Grow now.
Oh yeah, you're right. They changed that.
You can Silver Edge that off.
Right.
But he still builds like AC and stuff.
Yeah, but then actually I don't know the interaction. Can you Silver Edge off his status resistance from Grow? Because like when you hit a Tiny with Silver Edge, he doesn't turn into a level 1 Tiny in terms of size. Yeah. But I don't know how status resistance works.
I think for like Dragon Knight, like if you hit somebody with break, they lose the HP regen, but not necessarily the armor. I think you lose the armor too, but I'm not like I think
for Dragon's Blood you lose both.
You lose both. Then it should make sense for Tiny. You lose all the bonuses, right? The damage, the armor, probably even the status resistance.
Yeah, I don't know, because then like, should the status resistance lower the or the time of the Silver Edge break? Who knows? I don't think we're gonna see a Silver Edge this game though. But who do you need to itemize against? Is it the Tiny that you're concerned about, or is it the Medusa that you're concerned about?
Dire team ban. Queen of.
Or now the Queen of Pan.
Ten seconds remaining.
Both times, or was it Mushi? I think it's actually not.
5 seconds remaining.
What is this draft from Geek Fam? It is greedy as hell. Can you see fours?
Yeah, that's why I was like, okay, you worry about the Medusa, now you gotta worry about the Tiny, now you gotta worry about the Queen of Pan. I think that Geek Fam themselves need to be worried about getting good lanes, because Tiny is a hero that can get zoned if he doesn't have good support. And Medusa is also like that, and Queen of Pain, she won't have issues, but you can't, like, dedicate that much to one hero.
So what are these lanes looking like to you? Like off lane Quap, like Quap Nyx, right? Tiny safe lane +1, and then that's probably like the strongest lane combination.
10 seconds.
Yeah, that would be my guess. Mainly because for a brief period of time, Tiny offlane was like somewhat theorized with the new tree grab whatever, or like roaming kind of, but it's just not good because by the time you start getting points into your tree grab, then like you have so many spells that need to be maxed, because if you want to be roaming, then you got to max out your toss and then avalanche after that, and tree grab's not really important. But then if you're not leveling tree grab, then you can't farm as Tiny. So I don't like offlane Tiny, and then offlane Medusa just makes no sense. So I think it's offlane Quap.
I think in this game Tiny could get away with more roaming and less farming simply because he's paired with the Medusa.
Radiant team pick.
I agree with you normally that if, let's say, it's not a Medusa mid or something, you want your Tiny essentially be in the position. But I think this game he can actually even be like, we've seen Ice actually play beside Mineski.
10 seconds
I
remaining.
wouldn't be too surprised if that's going to be what ends up happening here.
It looks like March usually plays their Tiny. So do you know what role March is?
Alright, Wyvern final pickup.
Okay, maybe it is offlane, because March is their offlane player, and it seems like recently Geek Fam always runs Tiny for March.
10 seconds remaining.
Go.
That doesn't seem good though, especially if they run Sniper. You said Nana is usually playing Sniper, right?
Right.
So I guess that would be mid-Sniper. Yeah. But if they run safe lane Sniper, then Tiny can't really go up against that.
I definitely think you want to put Sniper mid. Juica against most mid hero is already a very strong matchup because of Mineski, and Sniper is actually one of the better ones to stay away. And I mean, Tiny is such a weak laner.
Right.
Well, I say weak. He's okay. Not the greatest.
Yeah, only in a 1v1 situation. And especially against a Shadow Demon, you will get harassed way more than you can take.
Yeah, so by the way, for anybody that's following the C qualifier for the Galaxy Battle, we are in the semifinals currently. And we had the semifinal 1 where Fnatic took it against Fire Dragoon, go fashion. And then they play the winner of this series. So this, for us, is like a little appetizer, you know? You go into a restaurant, they give you some warm bread, and then the main
Could I get the
comes in.
Mineski special, please?
What is the Mineski special?
That's actually, you know, it's like chef surprise, kind of. Because sometimes it's like a straight up 2-0, and then sometimes it's like them losing 1-2 in a 90-minute blowout.
Mineski special is like, you go into a restaurant super hungry, you fill up on the bread, and then the main comes up, you're like, oh, I don't want this anymore.
Is Ice the bread in this situation, and is Mushi the main entree?
I'm not saying what is what. You could.
I'm drawing analogies.
Alright.
And, and that's what I'm getting.
Ice
Slardar.
Yeah, no Elder Titan offlane.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Especially because I know a while ago when we had casted, that was when he was bringing his offlane Wyvern into the mix. And so I was hoping we were going to get another treat with a somewhat unconventional, which I guess Slardar is unconventional in offlane these days.
Yeah, but we've seen it before, right? Like.
Yeah, we've seen it before, that's for sure.
I mean, we've seen Elder Titan offlane before too, but it's just not as often, I guess.
Right, and it's not as flashy, that's for sure. I guess it makes sense that they would put the ET on a 4 though, because Shadow Demon plus ET roaming combination is very difficult to deal with, because you pretty much are always going to get stomped.
I mean,
and I mean that like in the sense of the spell. Well, I suppose, but the heroes that Geek Fam have are kind of tricky to lock down. Like Queen of Pain, she's not really easy to like set up with the Slardar into the stomp, and Tiny can just kind of throw these two melee heroes away so that they don't get too close.
By the way, this cast, you're probably gonna have to play the carry row. Alright?
Don't I always?
Yeah. Alright.
Hey.
Whatever you say, dude, whatever.
Why, are you sleep deprived or something?
I mean, I just got off a 20-hour, like, journey from Barcelona.
So?
A little bit.
Sounds
I guess.
luxurious. I just got off a 10-hour shift of work. What do you want me to do about it?
Yeah, I'd rather work 10-hour shift than take 20-hour plane rides. Dude. My neck just feels.
You haven't gotten that Sumail neck pillow meta?
Oh, dude. Whatever happened to the Sumail neck pillow? He just stopped wearing it.
And that's why he hasn't won a second TI.
Actually, he only wore it during that one TI, right?
I know, and then he won it. That's the secret. It's that and Matumba Man's pants, or whatever those were. Swimming trunks.
Aren't they just
The
shorts?
battle begins.
No, I think they were swim trunks. At least, like, on the H&M site, they're labeled as, like, swim shorts or something. I don't know if they have the net, but, you know.
She actually looked it up on H&M.
Listen, I'm a content creator. You gotta have these props ready for whenever you create some content.
I see.
Slaughter gonna be 1v1ing against a Nyx assassin, it looks like. So, Geek Fam trying to, I guess, just dodge Ice altogether. Because I think a Medusa and a Tiny lane, which, okay, never mind, Tiny's going bot.
Yeah, there's no way they're running dual lane Medusa Tiny. I mean, that's just too next level. But they're actually gonna run a 2v1 for now against Ice. I don't think the Nyx is gonna stay here like for too long, but it's gonna annoy him a little bit. Yeah, throw him that tree.
Yeah, you can dedicate sometime, but eventually, I mean, Slaughter does better 1v1 against Tiny than most other heroes because the Slithering Crush is physical damage, and we've mentioned time and time again how Tiny has no armor.
Yep. I mean, Tiny does build armor early on. I see a lot of players actually go Ring of Aquila. I think it's correct.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, Ice.
He's taking
Might be a
damage.
kill. Grab a tree? No tree grab. Get her ass though.
Mid lane, it's gonna be Nana Moon Sniper up against Trion, Queen of Pain.
Cheon!
I mean, I am hearing these chicken sounds from the Sniper cosmetic.
Yeah, so this is not the matchup we expected, right? The Quap versus Sniper.
No, mainly because I guess the idea that Mineski was going for is that they are not really going to be roaming around very much. And so, like, you see in the top lane is just a pretty much straight up tri-lane right now. Which makes sense because it's basically wherever the Medusa is, you want to draw the most focus. And if she was mid, then you'd be seeing Jabs spending a lot of time mid, but since she's top with Wyvern's protection, then you're just going to spend time up there making sure that Mushi Void can zone out this Medusa.
Yeah, so this matchup, as you see on the mid lane, is actually pretty bad for the Sniper. He has trouble sustaining against the Quap. Even if you aggressively blink in just to lay down the Shadow Strike, as a Sniper, you can't really punish him. And Xion is actually zoning him out pretty hard.
At the same time, Sniper hasn't gotten any points in Shrapnel. And so sometimes in like the early levels, like Queen of Pain doesn't really want to have to blow a blink just to get out of Shrapnel. So you can get some easy damage that way. But he thought, I guess, I don't know, I'm sure he's played this matchup much more than I have, so Headshot was taken at level 2. And then more points in Take Aim, as now another Shadow Strike. Yeah, he's dead.
I mean,
but at what cost?
what? That's great. You got a first blood. And you got a
That's
free
true.
heal.
Thankfully Ninja Boogie was in the vicinity, so he was able to get that return kill, but yeah, first blood goes to Queen of Pain.
You know, I'm pretty sure everyone and their mother is expecting Mineski to take this series, but right now the lane stage is actually looking.
Alright, so if Geek Fam were to take it, let's say, this game specifically, what hero is the most important? Because for me, I think Tiny's going to be the most important. Yes, Medusa is the hardest carry that Geek Fam have, but it's not really going to be up to Medusa how good of a game she has. It's going to be up to Tiny.
Tiny's kind of like the X factor, right?
Exactly. As now Medusa is getting X'd on.
That heal is a little bit too early, but
He's still burning mana off with the mana shield, though.
yeah. Fine regardless. I do agree with you that Tiny's gonna be X Factor, but let's not forget about Queen, right? Like, they're inherently running a very greedy lineup with triple core and some of the greedier supports. And they're winning the lane stage to me right now. So if they get away with this and have a good, decent early to mid game, like, Moon is actually getting absolutely destroyed in the mid lane by Chuan.
Right.
So though. This Quab is also gonna have a big game.
Yeah, but the thing is that I never really expect Quap to have bad games. Like, the number of times that I've seen Quaps fall off are far and few between. Whereas Tiny, if you are able to outplay a Tiny, then he will definitely fall off. And then Medusa's not going to be able to have enough space with just a Queen of Pain, because, like you said, it's extremely greedy. You'll have a Tiny and a Medusa who both want farm desperately.
A very good scan will find out that there is a hero nearby. Invis. And this Tiny actually is farming so
Yeah, he's
well.
doing work.
This is actually 1v1 lineup. Or matchup is actually very beneficial. And they're stacking. Wyvern is doing his best. Camps.
Bot lane. Toss on to Slardar. Done. Max toss. So I've seen basically every variety of max spell for safe lane Tiny. Max tree grab seems to be the most frequent, as now Medusa is actually getting going on sleep.
Wow, that clap was like a mile away, and then punch him dead. You know the funny thing for Elder Titan is that he actually got nerfed in 7.07 patch. But I'm not really understanding why.
Well, the thing, so what are you considering the nerf?
They nerfed his stomp. I haven't really looked closely to the talents. I'm sure he got buffed there because everybody.
Mid lane sniper, another kill.
Yeah. So they changed the stomp where it used to be that once you get the stomp, you have like a second to actually attack him like 1 or 2 times before the sleep kicks it. But now you can't do that anymore. But that's just like a very slight nerf.
So, after some testing on that interaction, you still get the 0.8 seconds, actually.
Okay.
Because it was 0.8 seconds of, like, you can do whatever you want. So, in my testing with ET, it's almost a buff. Because, like, if you used to right-click or do any damage, like a Radiance burn or something to a sleeping target, they would always wake up after that 0.8 seconds, like, no matter what. But now you get this damage threshold, where it's actually not listed in the tooltip at all. But I know once maxed, you can deal 200 damage, or under 200 damage to a target, and they won't wake up.
Wait, how do you not have that on the, like, changelog?
Yeah, I know, right? Story of Valve's tooltip life. But yeah, it's 200 damage when maxed. And so, it's really good, actually, because you can buy a lot of time, and a lot of times, like, you know, there's random spells being tossed out for AoE or stuff like Radiance, like I mentioned, or DOTs, like Veno, Poison Ticking, and stuff like that. That won't wake them up immediately after the 0.8 seconds anymore.
That does actually explain his win rate, especially in pub games where you don't really coordinate as well.
Right. Exactly. Okay. So be on the lookout for that, because when I first read it, I was like, this is a huge nerf to ET.
Yeah.
But it was just like awkwardly worded, so be on the lookout for stomps. As now, be on the lookout for Qian.
As well.
Mid lane.
Fine, he's got blink. He only dies if he uses his blink aggressively. Alright, let's check out some talents. The, I guess, plus 30 Astral Spirit hero attacks. Is that cool? I know the 20 is really good for him. The plus 100 Echo Stomp damage.
Right.
Because for Years Home, not only do your hero actually do more stomp, your spirit also does a stomp. So you're essentially giving your spell plus 200 damage.
Oh, top lane in the meanwhile. Stomp. See, look, they're right-clicking her. Her illusions are right-clicking her and she wasn't waking up.
I see.
But he's definitely taking a lot of damage. Yeah, Medusa's actually doing, like, fairly well, given the lane. She's... Nope. Well, you told me to carry and I failed.
Dude, he died, like, way in the jungle. I didn't even see that one.
Yeah. Well, March's doing a great job.
Yeah,
Max out toss.
Like, I think this is actually the change of 7.7 B or C or whatever that number of the patch is. Not the fact that you get 5 attacks with Tree Grab at level 1, there's less of an incentive to max it early, right?
Yeah, but the cooldown is much longer. So like you see that this is a very combat-oriented Tiny, and he's not really like he's still getting a lot of farm, but he's not like taking jungle camps. And even though Play Hard has stacked that one hard camp, it's not like a Luna or Medusa or something like that. March is being very spell-oriented rather than just farming-oriented, which is why I thought he was in the X Factor. This is the right call in my opinion.
Okay. I guess it comes down to what do you want to do after level 8 or 9, right? Deciding to roam and affect the early game, then you probably do want to have max toss by that point.
Right. And given that he's queuing up Drum right now, it definitely seems like he does want to roam as soon as he completes his first major item.
March
Assuming he doesn't get ganked.
Jabs looking for that disruption, not going to be close. Ninja's going to have to hit a good stomp here. March gonna juke everybody. They see exactly where he is. Stomp's not gonna hit. The crush is not gonna hit. They toss him away. March looks like he'll just go down. Zero base armor not helping him out here. Kill's gonna be there. March is gonna do another toss right before he dies. Sonic Wave though comes in, gets the 1 kill. Does he have Blink? He can have Blink, but definitely don't want Blink to choose 3 heroes. So just a 1-for-1 trade. Both teams rotating a bunch of heroes in, and the mid lane's completely empty for now.
Yeah, I think Queen of Pain had a little bit more time on the mid lane since the sniper had left whenever Shadow Demon was first looking for that catch. It was like 4 heroes bought for Mineski and eventually 4 heroes for Geek Fam, but man, Tiny, this max toss deals so much AoE damage as well. Like, every single time he tosses back these targets, it was basically like a Scream of Pain setting up into Sonic Wave, except Queen of Pain didn't need to do the Scream of Pain, it was just toss AoE damage.
So how are you feeling about the early game, apart from Tiny and Quap doing too well? You feel, what do you think Mineski is going to start making their plays?
They're trying right now by sending this Elder Titan and Shadow Demon pairing up, because initially Jabs and Ninja Boogie were just chilling in the top lane, but then it seems like they've kind of given up on zoning out the Medusa, as now... Man, yo!
I got this.
Do you?
I ain't throw up. I didn't miss anything.
Chronosphere into Stomp.
Oh, that's a good combo. Blinks away though. So here's the problem right now for the Mineski lineup. It just doesn't feel like they do any damage, at least not before like minute 15, right? Their combo is, I don't know, Chrono into Earth Splitter, right? That's their big thing.
Yeah, well, and ideally Sniper dealing damage into the Chrono.
Yeah, but Sniper needs items.
Right.
And she's got no items because he's lost lane. So I honestly don't think the Mineski team could actually fight till like 25 minutes in, judging on how slow their lineup is. And initially we call the Radiant lineup greedy, but I mean, if you look at it, Queen of Pain could fight early, Tiny could fight early, and they have been fighting early, so maybe Mineski's definitely greedy.
Geek Fam have a very like sustainable team, because Nyx Assassin Wyvern has now Impale connects. That's a dead Faceless Void.
Sorry, what were you saying?
Yeah, it's Geek Fam have like you can leave basically all these heroes alone except for Medusa, and they're going to be able to survive anything. As now March is going in onto Tiny, interrupting the Slithering Crush animation.
He interrupted like 3 times.
Yeah.
It was Toss interrupted, and then Avalanche interrupted, and then he tried to run, and he got the tree.
That's another thing that I've seen a lot recently. It used to be that every single time a Tiny, like, you never cast Avalanche and not toss at the same time, because the combo damage is just too good.
Right.
But now that you have a tree, you're oftentimes better off just stalling out so that you can have more stun time that you're, as now Nyx Assassin, getting assassinated. He doesn't want to get carapaced.
He's trying to fake it out?
Yeah, he's trying to juke it out.
Oh.
Aww.
Alright, come on, you could have reacted to that play hard.
He was like, there's no way he'll waste the mana on me.
Well, back to your point about the Avatar's combination. It's also because everyone's leaving Avalanche at like level 1, right? It's not as important to get that combo. Whereas I think the traditional way of playing Tiny, you just max both those spells, so it is super important. You double up over them.
But I mean, Toss is a solid, it's a 1.2 second stun, I believe. And so you can basically squeeze in 1 extra right click with a tree, ideally, that you weren't getting before. And that's a lot of burst damage, as we see, like, Slardar is not a squishy hero by any means, but basically got soloed.
Did he have sprint turn on or no?
No, he didn't even.
Yeah, not gonna lie, right now we have Medusa getting uninterrupted free farm. This stack, I think that was probably taken by Medusa as well, so... Geek fam is looking...
The tricky part will be whenever Mineski starts teamfighting, because Mineski's teamfight is infinitely better than Geek fam's. So, once Mineski start 5-manning, which is bound to happen, we'll have to see how Geek fam reacts, if they can, like, react properly.
I mean, if Medusa is not caught inside the Chronosphere, Stone Gaze could be like decent interrupt.
Sure, but that's assuming that the Geek fam team is like, I'm talking about like, so between 20 and 30 minutes when Medusa's still farming, but Mineski hopefully get a Blink Dagger on Slardar, which Ice is making progress towards it, but he's not very close right now. It's now another solo kill. As Nyx Assassin was just scouting, and he may get tossed on if he tosses the sniper. Oh, never mind.
They're now actually kind of surrounded in a pretty bad spot. Chronosphere is going to get dropped here for the Tiny. Immediate cold embrace, and now Winter's Curse on the right side. Ice in a lot of trouble. Sonic Wave hits on all 4, and now Geek fam is just running the show. That's going to be yet an extra kill on Moon. Ninja Boogie going to get blinked on. Are they going to toss one more in? I think it's time to back it up here for Geek fam. Geek fam withstands Chronosphere, gets 3 kills, and it's just embarrassing for Mineski right now.
Yeah, that chrono was like a last-ditch chrono, because, like you said, there's no damage to put inside of a chrono, and if there's one hero that you're not going to be able to kill, it's going to be Tiny, because he already had, I think he may have just gotten his level 12 grow off of that fight, but regardless, like, he's super tanky. And so, he's not an easy target to kill. And he was the only person who was chronoed.
I think if the Wyvern wasn't there, the Tiny probably dies, right? The Wyvern actually did so much. Saved Tiny's life and then set up the Sonic Wave, so... Double whammy. Ice. Gonna get a nice Sentry Ward to help him out. Double stun. Assassinate's gonna fly through. And that should be a kill.
They're making him work for it, though.
Schooled you good. 3 times 3.
I'm actually surprised that Marsh didn't go for... Oh, he is going for Shadow Blade. Okay. Yeah, so he went for the drum first, already finished up a Blink Dagger after that, and is now going for Shadow Blade. So this is what we were saying about the X Factor. Like, you need to be able to create space for this Medusa. You can't be another farming position. And so March is playing this perfectly.
He's got Blink
I'm
as
sure...
well.
Yeah, so I'm sure there was a reasoning why he went for Blink first before Shadowblade. Maybe it's because, you know, you already have an Invis Nyx Assassin on your team. You're better off not doubling up or doubling down on Invis, but it's working out. And I think Shadowblade is still a good item regardless.
I think normally you don't go Blink, but in this game you're up against a sniper, right? So you just want as many ways to get up to him as possible. So I actually like the Blink a lot in this game. It does feel like doubling up on Blinks and drums might be an overcommitment, and a Soul Ring, right? He has a ton of these like early game, and the bottle. Wait, there's no bottle. But my point is that there's a lot of like these early-ish game items, which normally looks really weird, but this game again, he just wants to fight.
Yeah, and sometimes the alternative that we'll see for this style of Tiny is stuff like Echo Saber, which is like a hybrid between farming and still like early game-ish item.
Yeah.
But again, like you said, this more gank-oriented stuff is working out, and it's also making life easier for Nyx Assassin, because Nyx Assassin's just serving as like a moving observer ward for Tiny. You see, these two are hanging out constantly, and if Nyx Assassin gets caught, it's because he was scouting out for Tiny. It wasn't just him, you know, on his own, and that protects the Tiny so that he doesn't need to lose this second highest net worth advantage that he has right now.
How do you feel about Mushi not going for MOM? Which you, I don't know, see like 80% of the time on Void these days? He's going for a Shadow Blade into what looks to be a Blast.
Right. It's buying time for Sniper is the way that I see it. Okay. Because if he goes for a Mask of Madness, then he's basically saying like, I need to be able to kill targets by myself. but that's not the type of game that this has become. They need to take these fights as a team, and a Shadow Blade first is great for initiation, and then Vlad's also helps your team as now Sniper. All left alone,
Okay,
nice chrono.
And now the tree toss is going to come in on move, but here comes the Earth Splitter on the backside to get one. And they should get the secondary kill as well. That is a team fight that Mineski was looking for, and they found it. Good rotations in from everybody, thanks to mostly these Observer and Sentries. Scouted out the Nyx, and then they kind of made the preparation for that counter initiation.
Yeah, initially Sniper was kind of left out on the island, but they were already making progress with the mid lane. Mushi specifically with that Shadow Blade move speed got there just in time, and it's a beautiful chrono to catch those two heroes, Nyx Assassin and Queen of Pain on the edge. And we're seeing the power of the theoretical Elder Titan Earth Splitter into Chronosphere, and then obviously Shrapnel on top of that. So that's the goal for Mineski for sure. And that's the why Faceless Void is itemizing the way he is, except for instead of that classic Mask of Madness.
Right now, Dusa still very far ahead. In fact, she is K ahead. Any of the Mineski. And she hasn't actually needed to join any fights. Right? This is like the dream carry game.
Yeah, this is the opposite of what I thought was going to happen this game, because I thought Medusa was basically going to get what Sniper is receiving this game, in that Mineski's like Shadow Demon and Slardar and Elder Titan would just constantly be going all over this Sniper.
Yep. And now we see the Blink Dagger coming into effect. Disruption's going to be there, but Sonic Wave's going to get one kill, and now Play Hard looking for the secondary kill. Chuon's going to blink in and try to kick their jabs. Jax might try. No! Great heal coming in from the Wyvern. That is going to be the good save. They take down the mid-tier 1. And Mineski, making the best out of a bad situation, will decide to split push the other lanes. Ice gets one tower, and Mushi's looking for another. So.
It's not too surprising that happened. Right after Chronosphere is expended, Geek Fam decide now's a great time to smoke up. We can go as 5 and we'll be fairly safe because there's no AoE spell that we need to be concerned about, and they get a solid kill. Sniper's definitely the #1 target that you want right now, and they just keep on going on him over and over again.
Super interesting. Ice, by the way, is going for a Helm of the Dominator. Look at him, he's got a Dark Troll Summoner, and he's pushing with these skeletons.
I mean, we do know that he loves this item.
He does.
That was like when Helm of the Dominator was good.
He delayed it. He delayed Blink for it, right? He went for that and then into a Blink. I mean, it gives you attack speed. That's pretty much it, and not even decent.
Well, it's another aura item. So right now you have health regen by 8 thanks to the Dominator aura and attack speed aura. And then with the Vlad's completed on Mushi, it's another aura item. You've got armor and lifesteal. And, you know, typically Elder Titan's the hero that you build these auras on, which he's going for his own. He's going for a drum on Ninja Bookie. So that just seems to be the plan, is they want to be able to, like I said, 5-man as now they smoke up.
I wonder if he's going to go for, like, the carry-ish talents, right? You take the bash damage at 50. Attack speed at 20.
He may have to. Oh, man. He walked his Dark Troll Summoner in here.
I mean, they might just think
smoke.
that scouting, right? From the perspective of the Radiant. He might just be checking, and then...
Well,
yeah, they're not
right.
expecting it at all. Oh my goodness.
Oh, this Nyx Assassin.
Yeah,
There's so many
Nyx.
pings going on.
Yep, they just took Roche, and Nyx is like, what's happening? Aegis is gonna get claimed by Mushi. Let's get out of it, yeah. Alright.
Yo, shout out to that Dominator aura. Plus 15 attack speed, you got 5 heroes in the pit, you got Corrosive Haze. Easy, Roche. Who needs a medallion?
The MVP was also that they used the Ensnare to take down the Lincolns on Roche, and then they Corrosive Haze.
Brilliant. Ice, the true pioneer.
Yeah, actually is.
He's going for a BKB now, so I wouldn't be surprised if he does go for the bash damage. Health regen and 20 damage, like, one could argue that they're equally important as a carry, because right now he has, like, what, 28 or 24 HP regen per second, which is pretty impressive, and Geek Fam are a very bursty team, and so if they can't burst the Slardar down with the initial damage, and if Medusa's not around to deal, like, follow-up physical damage, then he's going to be able to survive a lot more than he should be able to in fights.
Normally, I'm a big fan of the right-click Slaughter, because I've definitely seen it work a bunch of times. The problem with that is that there's a Wyvern in this game. It's gonna make a lot of your physical damage obsolete.
That's true. But maybe his idea with his Blink Dagger is to be able to go on like the backlines like Wyvern while the main heroes are being chronoed by Mushi.
Do you feel like a slow game favor Mineski? They are down, and they're given time to kind of climb back. At the same time,
The only reason...
Medusa.
Medusa, right. The only reason I think a slow game favors Mineski is because I think that they're more experienced in late game situations. And so I have more faith in Mushi getting a solid, like, big team fight winning, game winning chrono as the game progresses. But like, if I just saw these 10 heroes, then I would always give the edge to Radiant, because like we said, during the draft, they have like a very greedy lineup. They have basically like three carries, yep, compared to the like 2.5 that Mineski have.
Well, it's about to hit level 20. Fam is actually gonna threaten high ground a little bit here. High ground will let them punch that building pretty hard. They're hitting it on the backside.
But where's the trees? Oh, there we go.
Just yeah, Nyx Assassin running into Ice. Looks like top will back it up. Still though, Geek Fam did get some decent amount of damage on that tier 3. Got a tier 2 for...
Yeah, but Mushi had nerves of steel. He didn't stop farming. He just kept continuing his pace, because the only reason Geek Fam are backing off is because they know that Mineski have an Aegis right now. And Chrono. Cooldown, obviously. And now... Skemberlu.
Scan. Got him.
Not only might turn it around, Sentry Ward's placed, and Nyx just on the outskirts of it. Oh, he walks into it.
Ooh,
misses.
It's gonna be dead, but they're gonna try to burst down the Faceless Void. Faceless Void now jumps off all the damage. A pretty awkward position though for Mineski. They use both of their spells. Back it up.
Yeah, it seemed like Tiny mainly just wanted to protect the Nyx Assassin, because he didn't go for... Like he went for the full combo and he didn't go for any tree grab attacks afterwards, and so it's possible he may have been able to burn off that Aegis from Mushi, but spending too much time there, and if your team gets chronoed, is probably a bad idea. But now they're smoking up, and chrono is still up, so this is interesting. But it's gonna work.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh, look at the sniper. Oh? Yeah, he's dead. Don't even look at him.
Bottom side is going to be a Chronosphere for Dusa, and they naturally... Ooh, Manta Sal not going to do anything. Good 4-man gank here against Dusa. Spends the Chronosphere.
Both top net worth heroes go down, but Mineski expends two very important cooldowns with the Chronosphere and the Earth Splitter, whereas Geek Fam, all they did was toss in Impale, which it was also well played by Playhard. He didn't even bother going for the Vendetta damage. He just went straight into the Impale to make sure that there was no time for Sniper to pike away.
I also think that when you have triple core, trading 1-for-1 core-wise is absolutely...
Right. Although they are really high in net worth, and so, you know, the rubber band, the comeback factor, you gotta be cognizant of that.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, Nyx Assassin. Does not Vendetta envision.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
I'm surprised to see Playhard not use Spike Airbus when you walk up the hill. That's generally what most pro Nyxes do.
Oh, if they can cancel this, they cancel his TP.
Looks like he might be dead. Protection's gonna be there. He has to jump again, but the Soulbird's gonna take him down.
Great timing by Geek Fam. Playhard was right in the area, and toss.
Gonna find Ninja Boogie.
Oh, he's drumming away.
Yeah, he could blink toss, right?
We'll see.
Blink
Where's
toss.
Steph? Where's the blink? Yo, this dude is so fast!
He is so fast.
493 move speed, 522 move speed! Well played by Ninja Boogie.
What do you mean well played? He just walked in a straight line back to his space.
No, he was microing his spirit to get him more move speed while he was running away. He stomped all over. Well, he didn't stomp, but he walked all over the rest of Geek Fam and got away. What are you sad about?
Oh, that it's no longer 522.
Oh yeah, shout out to 550.
I guess it makes more aesthetically satisfying.
Yeah, a lot of numbers that used to not be divisible by 5 in this game are gone. There used to be like a lot of like 17-second cooldowns and stuff like that, or like 300 and like, I don't know, like weird numbers of spell damage and cooldowns and stuff like that, and all the numbers have been slowly getting rounded out to like divisible by 5 or divisible by 2.
10 base math, man.
Quick
10
maths.
base math. Yeah, actually 10 base math is for plebs. Think
What is that? Oh, base 10?
Yeah, base 10 math.
Base 10.
Apparently that's like super inefficient compared to like base 12 math.
Yeah, a lot of people just like that weird stuff. Like, you heard of reverse Polish notation before?
But
You like, it's like typing stuff in like backwards into a calculator and stuff like that. Like it's like numbers. It's like reading numbers like manga. It's like right to left.
manga style. And what does that give you? Like, is it more efficient or?
It's in theory, it's supposed to be more efficient or like easier to read or something like that.
Radiant's
man.
Void.
Oh man.
Only getting one though. And now Blink Crush gonna find two. Ursula's gonna come in as well. Quap not gonna die. Great heal here from the Wyvern from the back line. Now it's gonna be Faceless Void under a lot of damage. Sonic Wave's gonna come in as well. Faceless Void's gonna die on the right side. Toss on the Sniper outside to the Dusa. Dusa is gonna take him down. Force Staff on the chase here, and now Sniper's on the run. Maybe Ice can save him. Yes, he will. In fact, we'll turn around, bash a couple times, and now he is on the run on the left side. Ern is gonna cancel that Blink Dagger, and they give chase to the Sniper. Sniper should be okay.
Man.
Or maybe not. Ninja
Is
Boogie.
He has no night vision.
And now Ava, right click, right click, right click. You're gonna get the kill. That's gonna be a 3-for-1. And make that a 4-for-1, because I'm counting in Centaur for a kill. Easy. So.
I mean, that's the main hero for Ice. He's looking for something, but I don't think he can kill Queen of Pan.
And all of a sudden, after one fail Chrono, it's gonna be high ground. And I don't know how they're gonna defend this without Chrono.
No buyback on ET. And they wouldn't have Earth Splitter regardless. This Tiny's got a big old tree ready.
dire structures are fortified.
This is not how I expected this game to go.
Yeah.
I'll be honest.
KB. They're going on Dusa. Dusa's actually dying very fast. We'll pop the Manta. And now toss back
Nice
up
toss.
to his team. What a play. Ice has another blink, but little unsafe chase. Nope, blinks in. And now he gets Orchided, and he might just die here. He's already buying items. He's dead.
Yeah, that was miscommunication. Mushi was kind of moving in, but he still doesn't have Chrono, so he can't do anything. Earth Splitter comes out.
Okay, alright. That gets a kill, and now Mushi's gonna jump forward. Dusa's very low in terms of mana. They actually could chase Dusa. Nice Manta dodge here on the right side, but it's gonna get Orchided. Dusa's still alive. Another BKB's gonna use here, but Moon ignoring that Winter's Curse because of the BKB. Yes, he does. Mineski is chasing hard with these, popping a bunch of BKB.
And Tiny can't toss this Medusa anymore, but... Oh man, they're still going. I mean, he has Chrono now. Oh, but Tiny goes out of night vision. And Void's not gonna find a thing. I'm super impressed by Geek Fam right now.
Yeah, man. He's playing some Dota.
This is very well played.
Well,
They haven't made like
March
any
in
mistakes
particular.
yet. Yeah, March
in particular
definitely.
has been doing super well.
And now I don't really know, like, they were able to kind of burn down this Medusa, but that's because, like, Geek Fam are playing it kind of loose. They took that Roche fight, which wasn't really a Roche fight, it was just, like, in the pit area, and they kept the pressure up because, you know, they wanted to get more damage. Like we've said earlier, once cooldowns are down from Mineski, then Geek Fam feel pretty safe. And that was really the only context that they were able to get the Medusa down to, like, critical HPs. And Tiny was just, like, constantly tossing her away. This Medusa has, like, pretty much no defensive items besides the Lincolns, and that's just because Lincolns is just, like, a generally solid item on Medusa, but, like, there's no BKB. Now she's completed the Pike. Before Scotty, actually, so that's one
Honestly,
defensive item.
Lincoln's pretty bad this game. All things considered.
Yeah, but, I mean, the mana is just, like, it's one of the best efficiency items from Mana Shield. Moon is gonna have to shoot his way out of the pit.
BKB's gonna actually block that stun. Now he blinks on the back line. He's gonna go on jab. Sonic Wave is gonna take him down with the Soul Burn, I believe. No, he's still alive.
Man.
Look like it. And now it's gonna be Ninja on the run. He's very fast. Earth Splitter down the ramp, but nobody cares about it. They juke away. And that shall be kill on the right side. Ice will blink away.
I'm pretty sure Play Hard like indirectly won that fight for Geek Fam because Mushi has Chronosphere, but he had no mana the entire time. And no one has any Diffusal Blades on Geek Fam right now. So the only way Mushi would have gotten down to like critical mana levels is if this Nyx Assassin was just constantly mana burning him. And no Chrono could come out. And Geek Fam, like, they clumped up gladly once they knew that Void couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah, I didn't see Mushi's positioning. Maybe he was coming into a fight after farming.
He was like in the mid lane area. After Slardar jumped in onto the Queen of Pain, then Mushi was kind of in the mid lane vicinity. He wasn't in the river, but then Nyx Assassin was just like dueling with him.
Sure. By the way, after that fight, Ollie, the Wyvern player, is going to pick up a Glimmer Cape, which actually does cut down the damage output of Mineski by a sizable amount. The way that they've been using these Chrono Earth Splitter is mostly on one. Just like Co-Embrace, Glimmer that person, and probably won't die.
It depends on the target. If it's something like Tiny or Medusa, then they definitely won't die.
Wait, did you see what the Duso is doing there? So,
like, splitting off of Roche or something?
No, he split off of a range tree that Ice dominated. But he was outside the Roche pit and he was hitting into Roche.
Oh.
That was
interesting.
Something that they're getting excited about.
Oh, Chrono onto Medusa. He doesn't feel confident doing it on solo targets anymore. He knows this Wyvern.
Okay, bash. Chrono just for a Wyvern? Is that worth? I guess.
Well, let's see. Snipers escaping from the fight. BKB activated from Slardar.
Yep. Trying to block.
No, there is no team fight. Everyone wants to find different targets.
I mean, this is classic C Doto, right? Everyone. Oh my God. That was the elevator for Slardar. He just went up, down. From the ground floor to the first floor.
To the underground. He is in the basement right now. Yeah, Mineski don't really... Like, I understand why Mushi is making these decisions, because if you can't land a multi-hero Chrono, and even if you do land a multi-hero Chrono, like, if you don't grab the Wyvern, you're not going to win that fight. Or you're not going to really do anything in the Chrono.
Okay, I get that though, but after you use the Chrono, which is by far your best teamfight ability, you just say, oh, alright, back it off, right? Like, there's no reason for Mineski to keep on sticking around, but he did anyway. He's gonna be Sniper caught on the mid lane. Avatar's gonna get the kill here. Good stuff.
March continues to make an ocean of space for this Medusa, and actually, Queen of Pain will take the Aegis. I guess she is definitely being the most aggressive hero, and Medusa hasn't really died in like the past 15 to 20 minutes. And now that Butterfly is completed, Pike is completed, I don't really think he's going to die anytime soon.
I don't think so either. Nice two-man crush here, but Avatos is going to be there for Slardar. Slardar is dead. March is beyond godlike. Well, I think they have a little issues here though. So now Medusa reaching high ground. Melee racks under siege. Backdoor production coming up for a second, but it's down real fast as well. Geek Fam looking to take a 1-0 advantage here against one of the top 3 teams in SEA. What's happening right now?
It's like a new rock paper scissors element has been added. Well, I'll let them see if they take the series before I start jumping to any conclusions. But more often than not, whenever Mushi wants to Chrono and then cannot because Tiny blinks away. Where's the Wyvern at?
Chrono. And Earth Splitter is going to come through. A lot of AoE damage, but not even close, because you can't just rely on Earth Splitter to actually do the damage. Where was the Sniper? Sniper was coming out of the fountain, I guess. Geek Fam will retreat safely. They lose nobody. Take Shrines now.
Yeah, so usually whenever an underdog team beats the opponent, oftentimes they'll say it's either the fact that the underdog team outdrafted them, or they outplayed them. But in this case, it was both. Like, the laning phase was just hands down in Geek Fam's favor. And despite the fact that initially we were skeptical about this Geek Fam draft, it has very clear synergy that Mineski is struggling intensely with right now. And so Geek fam just all around have outplayed Mineski this game.
They essentially won through all 3 lanes, right?
Right.
So generally you don't lose pro Dota games all 3 lanes. I think the most problematic lane though was the Sniper just got wrecked so hard by Flop. And Sniper needed to carry the damage in there.
Yeah, it's possible that Void may have itemized differently if Sniper didn't get obliterated in the mid lane. But even like moving forward, like the more I see this Geek fam team, I feel that even if they have equivalent levels and items to Mineski, like they've had this entire game with like an advantage on Mineski with items and experience and all that business. But even like 1-to-1, I feel like Geek fam still handily beats what Mineski have. Oh man, great ward, spotting out Void.
How did they even saw him, man?
Shout out to Cliff Wards. The real thing is, how did they know to put that there? That's so smart. So smart. That was the latest Yule's dodge I've ever seen.
That's 60-second without Mushi. They could just high ground. I mean, this dude could pop Stone Gaze anytime he wants.
They've already high grounded.
Alright, counter initiation, Stone Gaze. Not gonna come out just yet. That curse though, oh my goodness, that damage output is gonna be there. Ice dropping low, dropping fast, that's gonna be killed. Stone Gaze triggering it against, against ET. ET's gonna be dead. Jabs is gonna be dead. 4 dead. Make that 5. Sniper is gonna go down. What a Sonic Wave. And they call GG. Mineski down 0-1 against Geek fam.
Wow.
What?
It's a plot twist, if I've ever seen one, but a well-deserved one. I definitely don't think that, like, they definitely just won that game straight up.
When you said plot twist, this reminds me of Iron Man 3. For people that haven't watched Iron Man 3, like, close